Now, let's go to China, where Beijing may have just delivered one of its strongest military signals yet to Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, China has reportedly tested a new, advanced anti missile defense system capable of detecting and intercepting ultra low altitude threats, including the sea skimming missile and high speed drones. According to reports, the drill also simulated hypersonic attack scenario and electronic warfare condition. And yes, it's very important to note the timing here. This test comes just days after Chinese President Mr. Xi Jinping he issued a sharp warning to the United States President over Taiwan, which means this was not a technical missile exercise anymore. It was definitely a strategic messaging. Here, China appears to be telling Washington something very direct. We are preparing for the next generation of warfare. And you know what? That next generation, it is all about speed. Hypersonic weapons have become one of the biggest military fears globally because they travel at extraordinary speed while maneuvering unpredictability. Well, that is making them very difficult to intercept with traditional defense system. The United States, Russia, China, all are racing to dominate this technology because whosoever controls hypersonic warfare would gain a major strategic advantage. And now China is signaling that it is not only developing the offensive system, but also defensive capabilities designed to survive future missile heavy conflict. In fact, reports suggest the military drills recreated heavily complex battlefield conditions, including the electronic jamming, fast moving threat, and low altitude attacks that are designed to bypass the radar system. This matters because Taiwan issue. It remains one of the most dangerous geopolitical flashpoint in the entire world today. Beijing considers Taiwan part of China. In the meantime, the United States continues supporting Taiwan militarily and politically. And every missile exercise or military exercise around this particular issue, it sends shockwaves across global market and defense circle. The bigger message here, it is psychological. China wants to project confidence. It wants Washington to believe that Beijing is becoming technologically prepared for any future confrontation scenario. Whether the system is fully operational or still experimental, that is kind of secondary right now because perception itself, it is part of modern warfare. Military strength today, it is not only about weapons, it is about deterrence, signaling, fear, confidence, strategic messaging. China do understands this very, very well. And tonight, Beijing appears determined to show that it is no longer simply reacting to American military power, but it is now preparing to challenge it directly. But wait, here's the story that many viewers may not fully understand yet. But inside Pentagon circles, it is becoming a serious debate. Ladies and gentlemen, America's long-range naval strike capacity, it could soon face major pressure. That's right, the focus is on the planned retirement of Ohio-class guided missile submarines. Let me explain. These submarines, they are among the most powerful underwater strike platforms in the entire world. They can carry enormous numbers of Tomahawk cruise missiles, capable of hitting targets from long distances and that too with accurate precision. And yes, at the very same time, the U.S. Navy is also retiring the older Ticonderoga class cruisers, which further reduces missile launching capacity. Well, now combined together, these retirements, it could significantly reduce the number of Tomahawk missile America can deploy very quickly during major conflict like the West Asian. Now, replacement systems, they are actually coming, mainly through Virginia-class Block 5 submarine. But there is an important difference. These new submarines carry fewer missiles as compared to the older Ohio-class SSGNs. That has sparked debate about whether the United States could actually face limitation, and that too during prolonged high-intensity conflict with Iran. And this discussion matters because America's military strategy increasingly depends on what? Long-range precision strike system. Whether in West Asia, whether in Indo-Pacific or against heavily defended targets. Cruise missiles are central to the U.S. deterrence and the war planning. At the very same time, rivals are modernizing rapidly. China is expanding naval power. Iran is improving missile capacity. Russia, it continues investing heavily in strategic weapons. In the meantime, Washington is trying to maintain military readiness across multiple theaters simultaneously: Ukraine, Red Sea, West Asia, Taiwan. And that is why analysts are now openly discussing sustainability. Can America maintain overwhelming military dominance across several major crises all at once? Well, that is a question that would have sounded almost unimaginable 20 years ago. But today, even the Pentagon is being forced to think very carefully about military limits, industrial capacity, and long term readiness.